All right. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 10 of the OpenRCT2 playthrough. Last episode, I completed Katie's World, otherwise known as Katie's Dreamland, and I tried starting Dinky Park, but I really didn't like the direction I was taking with it. I put myself in sort of a money pit where I wasn't able to get some money back. So today's episode will be exclusively dedicated to Dinky Park. There will be some updates on the website later, amusementmemorabilia.com. And as of today, I'm also ordering the hardware for my computer. So, and within the next week or two, I will have a webcam, a new microphone, and some other things to help with the YouTube content, with the stream, of course. And I'll continue doing this. I enjoy playing RCT2 or even the original Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I have played through all the scenarios before, but I just wanted to do it again fresh. Just give me something to do. I'm not into really many of the new games out there, and I probably don't plan on streaming anything other than OpenRCT2, maybe Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 once I'm done with this series, but this will take up an extraordinary amount of time just because of how many scenarios are available. I personally, even though Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 definitely has more rides available and more custom stuff that you can easily implement into the game, I just certainly like the classic feel of the original two Roller Coaster Tycoon games. So I'm trying to think of any other updates. Yeah, there will be something posted on the website later on the blog. So definitely do check that out, and more updates like that will be coming within the coming days and weeks here. So I wrote some notes down. I essentially, when I played through Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, the last time I did so was probably a couple of years ago or so. And I've been pretty hit or miss with playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, or at least the original one, since I like Planet Coaster, but it's too involved. You can spend hours and hours just developing one little ride or one little plaza. And it's kind of like CAD software in a way, where the way that you have to place attractions and scenery and stuff, it takes too long. So maybe down the line in the future I will consider doing some Planet Coaster stuff, but for right now I kind of want to keep the simplicity and just play through the OpenRCT2 series here. So I got out my notebook, and the notes I wrote, every scenario that I completed, I wrote some notes, how I completed it, basically what strategies to take. And I definitely made a note here. I have the piece of paper. Dinky Park is one of the harder parks in the original scenario. Of course, this is, probably only a third of the way through the total scenarios in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, but just because of the size of the park that you're given, it's certainly is tough to work with. Of course, you can buy land for cheap over here, which I'll do right now. I'm not going to buy any, but I'm just showing, for example, you can buy basically double or triple the park's current land over here, and land is only $20 per tile. Construction rights go right over the highway right here. They may also be $20. They're either $10 or $20, but this allows you to build a path over to the side, or even a chairlift. The last time I did this scenario, I had one pathway leading right about over here, but I also had a chairlift in this area. So those are definitely a couple of options for moving people, keeping your midways not as crowded. It's a very small foot space. The path system is very primitive. Basically, these are bare essentials, what you need to run this set of 6 attractions. And as you start getting more people in the park, of course, it's not going to be uncommon by the end of year 2 to have 600 to 1,000 guests in the park. This is a very small area, and it will become crowded very quickly. So some keys to the game here: building underground. The land above here has a lot of flat space except for this hill right here, this slope. So definitely something like a mini coaster or a wild mouse can fit underneath the ground right here. It would be very beneficial to build one down here because you don't really have space. You could build it all elevated over the existing rides, but I think it looks messy and not very realistic. So probably instead of expanding over on this side of the park right away, I will focus on this side. One of these rides may get removed. I'm going to end up adjusting the queue lines and such things, and basically focusing on the first half of the park that's already open. Once I get the looping roller coaster, which there is proper space for something like a shuttle loop back here, I could build a junior coaster or a mini coaster completely underground and tunnel a path in. Um, After that is when I will start considering building on the other side. Hopefully by then revenue will be rolling in the park, and then I won't have such a money pit as I did when I started the scenario last stream. And once I start buying land over here, I'll only buy what I need at the time and only the construction rights that I need. And from there, the park should start profiting. $100,000 park value is a bit to obtain within 2 years, just because the park is only at a fifth of that value approximately right now with $21,000. But as soon as some of these major rides go, and this coast or this scenario will probably take about 3 to 4 coasters to complete. And there certainly is land over here. There's enough land to fill 2 small coasters in here, but there's definitely enough land to build 2 larger coasters on the opposite side of the highway. The loan will only let you take out $20,000. So it is one of the scenarios that loan, you have a little bit of money to play around with. You can essentially double the money you have in the bank right now, but it's not something that you can fall back on because it's such a small sized map and it's such a small sized. The rides that are currently existing in the park are general rides, and they don't gain much money. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to adjust these rides just a little bit. I'm going to increase their cycle times moderately, just to get a little bit more revenue out of them right now. Yeah, I'll go with 15 swings. The Ferris wheel is going to have to go down to 1 rotation so that people aren't getting stuck on it. This ride, the small observation tower, is good to charge 250 as is. These values may have to be decreased over time as they age, but for right now, people will pay to go on them. And the spiral slide right here, that can stay as is right now, but single ride per admission, and I believe this will get $1.50 if I'm not mistaken for a single ride admission. Um, so I'll get started there. I'm gonna remove this fountain just to get a little extra money in the bank for the time being. And these rides can all get adjusted once I get the test values in for them. So $1 for the carousel is still standard. $2 for the scrambler ride. The swinging ship will also get $2. The Ferris wheel will remain at $1 per ride, and the spiral slide will be $1.50. So just pulling as much revenue in as possible for these attractions. I'm also going to pause really quick because I do believe that you have the information kiosk in this map, which you do. And I'm also going to disable the brakes failure. That's the only cheat I've been rolling with in these scenarios. The information kiosk can slide right there. This will make a lot of money very quickly for the park. All right, I will put in, and I have to research the drink stall because you receive a couple of the food stalls, but you do not receive a drink stall in this scenario. After that, I'm going to focus on the coasters and thrill rides. There certainly are some coasters right now. I do want that steel looping coaster because a shuttle loop will be a very nice design to put in this very skinny plot of land. The station will only require 1 block across, and the rest of it can fit out here. So, yeah, I will put in a restroom as well. I'll put the restroom right there for the time being. I can always move it. And typically I don't charge for the restrooms, but just because this park it's a little bit harder to pull revenue, I want to offset my costs as much as possible. Typically, I'd leave them free, but people will pay up to about 10-20 cents to use the restroom in your park. And 1 food stall. Another thing I wrote down in my notes is that it's not wise to do food courts. So once I get the drink stall, it may not be wise to put it in right here just because you want to avoid overcrowding. This main midway right here is already getting crowded with just under 200 guests in the park. So you want to avoid as many people congregating sort of in one section of the park as possible. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start building the mini coaster. I could go with the junior coaster design for inside of the hill, But the mini coaster is a little bit smaller with turns and such things. It has a little bit more flexibility. Something like Runaway Plumber in the previous scenario, which was Katie's World, was completely underground. And that's sort of the design I'm going to go with here. It may be a little bit smaller than that attraction, but I just want something to start gaining revenue and fitting in with inside of here. And just for reference, I want to see I could build it right there. That's not going to happen. Okay, so I'm going to have to go with the custom design just because this game's a little bit wacky. This game is a little bit wacky with building stuff underground that are already complete designs. So the base land here starts at 15, so that's where I'm going to begin it underground. And in fact, I'm actually going to build it down a little bit as far as it will... Oh, I don't want to go too far down. Just because I want to be able to fit in a lift hill and such things. So I wonder where I'm at in terms of 0 feet. So there will be about a 3. Once you go into the hill right here, there will be about 3 steps downwards, but that's not terrible. Oh, nice. And this design will allow you to do the curved lift. Although that's going to be a bit problematic right there because I can't build it any higher. Okay, and you can't do banked drops in this one. So I'm going to do... If I do that, though, that will disappear. See-through paths, see-through scenery, invisible people. Okay, so that helps me see a little bit more where I'm going here. The ride is only going to go up, it looks like 25 feet here, but I'm aiming for at least, you know, $3.50, $4 worth of revenue off of this one because that will immediately be the top profit getter in the park. Maybe I do a small helix here. Yeah, no, that won't let me. How far can I build out? Okay. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to go downwards as much as I can here. And I do want to keep an eye on this research. As soon as I get the drink stall, I'm going to focus the research on coasters to get the looping coaster. It's going to be a very weird design, but it is going to be fully enclosed as well. So I'm, you know, not too concerned about how it looks. I'm more concerned just about how it performs. And it's only really going to do sort of an out and back, double out and back layout here. It will come under the lift hill. And I'm still going downwards there, so if I can fit in... Can I buy that one piece of land right there? I cannot. Can I buy... Oh. I can buy construction rights right there, though. So this will require that much. And maybe I loop it back around here. Oh, and I do have the drink stall now, so research is going to go strictly towards coasters. The drink stall I will put in as soon as I'm done with this coaster. It's not something that's imminently needed. And I will add a couple of handymen and a mechanic. Yeah, I totally forgot. This park doesn't start out with any staff, so the Ferris wheel was just down there for a little bit. Um, okay. What's going on here? So I will need some construction rights just for this area. I'm going to need them anyways down the line once I start buying land on the opposite side of the park and building over there. And I want to make sure that I have enough clearance here. That's at 0 feet. So maybe I do a final turnaround now. If I can fit it in, probably not, no. So maybe an S-bend, brakes, and I'm hoping that this fits in swimmingly here. Probably won't though. So I'm gonna have to do another S-bend to the station. Nice, okay. So where'd that ride go? Do one car, or I could do like a 3-car train, and in fact, right here, I could do a block brake. Again, not very pretty, but it will serve its purpose. I'll start with one train just for testing so that if it crashes or doesn't make it around, I won't have any issues. I'm hoping the intensity rating isn't too high, but because it is underground, the excitement ratings should certainly be boosted because of that. It's not a bad design. It's just very sort of weird because okay, that actually worked out pretty good. Okay, and I'm gonna adjust a couple things while I'm at it. I only spent what is that, like 3 grand? Considering I spent a little bit for the information kiosk and that, I only ended up spending about 3 grand in total for this coaster. And the black brake can go right there. So this thing will run 2 trains. Now that I know it's going to make it around, let's do that. I'll call it Space Cadet. And it's not like the colors really matter because it's underground, but I may just go with, an all black, sort of a black and maybe a purple color scheme. The rockets can be white, maybe a light blue. And I just want to see how this tests out. I will also give it a space station theme here. So the stats, okay, 448, so it will be just under $5. It will be a $4 generating coaster, but for this park, that certainly is pretty damn good to start. Okay, it will let me build right there, so a little bit of a definitely a non-traditional sort of building method here, but it will work. As long as I can, yeah, I can click there. Do that. As for the path that leads down here, Purple Peril, I'm gonna redo its queue line. So this I'm gonna cut off there. The queue line for this ride doesn't need to be that long, and everyone's gonna get lost here for a second, but it will all make sense. Remove this path. And the path that actually leads down there, I'm gonna do right over here. So everything is still connected. It did get a little bit mutilated and messed up, but if I can click on it and open it now, it should work out fine. I will redo the fencing right here. And the looping roller coaster is also available. So now I can switch my focus to just thrill rides, transport rides. I want to kind of get the chairlift as an attraction that goes over here. And that should be good for right now. Let me just get my bearings here really quick. The drink stall needs to go in. Maybe the drink stall goes right here. Oh wait, but the exit path for the looping coaster will probably go there. So I guess I can sacrifice a tree and put the drink stall right there. Okay. And I'm going to get right to work. After I research here, or not research, but advertise Space Cadet. And I have, yeah, we'll do for the park as well. The shuttle loop coaster will not cost all that much to construct, so there will be just about enough money left over to get that up and rolling. And with Space Cadet open now, generating revenue, that will certainly help this park. So definitely a different focus from last time I played this scenario, where as I started building a junior roller coaster and buying land over here right away, now I'm more focusing on still building up this area of the park. So let me just think of how I want to. The end of the station is going to have to go there, because I'm going to need an exit path that leads right back out onto the midway. As for the station, I'll see how this works out. I may have to modify the carousel and reroute the exit, but not the end of the world by any means. So this is going to go right up into the vertical loop. I'm not going to have too much space here, so I will add an on-ride photo section, and maybe I will. Okay, that's going to be out far. One too many. On-ride photos. I want to build this sort of like this, if it looks okay. That does not look so good. So maybe I'll just go with the traditional second spike here. How far up is that? Maybe it could go up one more, but I'll see how this works. It will be a powered launch without the passing station. I think the shuttle loop needs to go like 40. Oh, I'll build it there for right now. I know for a fact that the exit's going to be right there, so that's fine. See how this works. Nope. Um, I'm gonna have to go without the on-ride photo section, just so that I can build that as high as possible. There's certainly potential on this end of the park over here to do like a wooden roller coaster with the on-ride photo. I just want to make sure. Nope, it's gonna need shorter trains, or it's gonna need a less forceful launch. Okay, so 5 car trains. Maybe I will do a one more click upwards. I just want to make sure that when guests get on this coaster that it doesn't get too high to the edge. That should be okay. And maybe I won't even have to close the carousel. I may be able to build sort of an entrance ramp that goes like this. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, so that works. Maybe I'll go with the abstract entrance for this guy. The trains, the blue looks okay, blue and black. And for the track, I'll do. I don't know if I like that orange. Light. No, that was light orange. A yellow maybe. Carousel's yellow right there though. There already is purple. There are reds. A gray. White. I'll call it reactor. And maybe instead of the blue, I go with a light green. Light green and a light blue. How does yellow look? Okay, that's fine. So I didn't end up wasting too much money on that, but it will begin profiting immediately, and more people will be coming into the park. I wouldn't be surprised if people are already complaining that it's too crowded. So the path system is definitely going to have to be developed more to keep that park rating up. And actually, I'm going to have to reset the crash status for that one because it did crash when I was testing it. So people should start going on it now that it stopped raining. And the chairlift is available. So I'm going to take transport rides out of it. I'll do throw rides for now, just to get some more throw rides in here. It certainly is getting very crowded. I may end up having to remove one of these rides also to bridge a walkway over here. But now with 2 coasters operating, the revenue will be made back very quickly. Three handymen. The park value though should be 64,000, so more than halfway there, and only halfway through year one. So that's a very good starting point. Just trying to think of what the best ride to remove would be. Probably this observation, either the observation tower or the Ferris wheel, just because of their location. The Ferris wheel I do like. The observation tower may be the one that gets removed. I generally do like the observation tower more than the Ferris wheel, but there's more people queuing for that, and this one is more of an expendable attraction in this park, I think. Oh, and I should probably add some benches down in this area, just because people are getting sick. Add a couple more. And same with this walkway right there. It is getting very, very crowded though. That's probably the main thing that's affecting park rating, but park rating is not doing like terrible or anything right now. Advertising campaign, 3 weeks remaining for Space Cadets, so I'll probably advertise this one or the next big ride once that advertising campaign is over. Um, so most of this land is developed now. Certainly, maybe one more flat ride or something could fit in somewhere, but I think I'm just about done with this side of the park for the time being. It's time to start expanding outwards. It certainly is possible to beat the scenario just by using this piece of land, but it's very tough to do, and it usually doesn't end up looking very good, so that's not something that I necessarily want to do at this time. And in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and remove this one right now. Because the chairlift station will end up going in this area right here. And I may begin building that right now, actually. They're fairly cheap designs, and I still have money left over from the initial loan. I could do it right there. Ooh, going backwards with this one, I guess. So the park, I will also need to build a path out here because if I charge money for the chairlift and people run out of money, they'll have no way of making it back to the park entrance. So this will need to just go straight. And I will also just buy the lands over here for it. It will be sort of an elevated path, definitely, to get to. It will be an elevated path is what I'm saying, to get to like the land over here, but there aren't many options in this scenario. It is built on quite a bit of terrain for how small it is, and I'm going for the least cost option right now as far as building it goes. I will need to purchase the land also for the entrance and exit. And the entrance over here, go like that. This I'm going to hold off on. I will begin testing it, but it won't actually open until I figure out what I'm going to do in this area. It will have... Why does it only have one car? I don't understand that at all. I will advertise reactor while I'm waiting for the rest of my stuff to be developed over here. I just really wonder why I don't know if my station platform isn't long enough for more than one car or what the deal is. Okay, so I guess that I'm gonna have to extend the station more. This I will bring down some. I'll have to build it out one more. Okay. Hopefully this allows me one car still. I'm going to have to pause this really quickly to look up the reason why it's only letting me do one car. The stations certainly are long enough. Give me one moment. Okay, so it looks like for some odd reason the stations are backwards. Yeah, that would make sense, I guess. So this is going to have to be demolished yet again. And I'm going to have to build it again. So if it's going to be going this way... Oh, wait, but no, I can't do... Okay, I'll have to do it there. It's going to go up. That makes sense. That's why it was being built in reverse last time. And this will actually allow me to build it much lower down. That'll go right into the station. I did 4 blocks over there. Okay. This should have 11 cars. Okay, so that's much better. I'll do it to 10 just so it has an even number. And begin testing this out. I'll call it Skyway. The colors look okay as it is right now. And I want it to be very high capacity, so that looks a little bit too fast. So 6 miles an hour. And I'll give it maybe a canvas entrance. No, I don't like the way that looks. It doesn't look right though without. I'll do the plain entrance. That's fine. And as for the cars, I'll do different colors per car. Blue, red, green, purple, black, white. The first one was yellow, so an orange, pink, and maybe a brown. Okay. It will only get $1 per guest, but guests always go on the transport rides. The intensity factor does not factor into transport rides. Guests will ride them no matter how much money they, well, not how much money they are, but intensity wise, how intense they are. And maybe I'll start thinking about the next coaster. The swinging inverter ship was developed. That is a 2-tile ride, so that one will be space beneficial no matter where I want to put it. I think I'm going to go for the next coaster, though. I may go for sort of a canned design for this one, just because of the space constraints. I don't really like many of the pre-built designs in this game though. How much space? So this would take up like a moderate amount of space. Most of it would have to go right over the water right there. Or I don't know where the boundary is of where I can. Okay, so there is quite a bit of land out here as well. I didn't use any of the loan yet, but I am running low on the initial money that I had, and I don't want to dig myself into the hole where I, you know, dig myself into the hole where, and a lot of people are saying it's too crowded, so something's going to have to be done here very soon. I don't really want to build a custom design, in all honesty, for this one. I do want something, though, that's going to be fairly compact. This design, okay, if I purchase the land out here, let's just say I purchased that. I'm running low on money, so I'll take out a little bit more loan to start building out here. Trying to see what this amount of land would give me. Maybe I'll go a little bit out here as well. Okay. So I will put pathways down just to get this right up and operating. Go-karts are available. I don't know if that's one that I want to build over here. But as far as the pathway goes, it will have to go back over here. I could tunnel it. This can open though. As I start building this pathway leading back towards the first side of the park, it will have to start going upwards, and I will buy the construction rights leading back up to the park. Land's not owned by park. So I am going to have to shoot. It is going to have to go up a little bit more here. Then that's enough room to go over. And in fact, I'm just going to buy all of this right here to build it over this way. And it should be fine. Oh, I'll need a little bit more money, running low on it. Oh, and that actually connected perfectly. So it doesn't look too bad. It is a bridge over the highway there, but I'll add some benches in. People will start going this way. So that should help some of the crowding issues. I'll put in some bins as well. Couple right there. Okay, so that's working now. The Skyway, in terms of people going on it, it's doing fairly well right now. Park value 71,000. Okay. So going back to that wooden coaster design, this is the one I was looking at. It is expensive. I won't be able to buy it right now. I don't even know if it will fit. So I may have to go with a smaller design here. One that looks somewhat decent too. I don't want to just build any old one. I may have to go custom here. I didn't realize I didn't have as much space with the Skyway in right here. I didn't realize I had such little space. So that one was, I'm looking for sort of the lowest lowest tile space. 12 by 15. How's this look? Turn it this way. It will fit. It won't look very good though. In the station, it will be very hard to put in. So maybe I take out the rest of the loan that it will let me, and I start building a custom design for over here. This will give me a lot more flexibility in terms of, it's not going to be a very large design, of course, but it will give me more flexibility with, so that needs to be a 10. Okay. And it will go into the lift hill right out of there. I'll build it up one more. There we go. And I'm going to see how creative this allows me to get with the how creative it allows me to get with the land right here, and the money will allow for right now. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I want to go down, back over. I may have to tunnel it under here and come back around, sort of thing. Once I get more money, I'll be able to buy a little bit more land out here just to do sort of a turnaround. And I may actually do that right now, because money is rolling in pretty good at this park at the moment. Okay. I really just don't want to shoot myself in the foot where I can't open this design for a long time. It is nearing the end of year one, though, so I got to keep on the building. It would be nice to go around here again and sort of back, but I don't think that's going to be an option. And I don't think that there's going to be room for any sort of okay, I'm totally out of loan. It's not a bad design so far for sort of a junior terrain following wood coaster. I do hope that the stats are somewhat decent and I'll be able to fit a turnaround in there. Launched free fall is available. I think that the swinging inverter ship would be the next smart thing to put into this park, just given the land. I don't know if I want to remove any of these existing rides. There is a bit of flat space there that it would fit in, but my big focus right now is preserving the money to finish this wooden coaster. Because currently the park value is still at 71,000 holding steady. This design should push it towards like 90 something, and probably one more big coaster will push it over the edge. I won't be able to have as much of a cushion on this map as other scenarios just because of space, land, and it is a tight time frame, but I should certainly be able to get it done once I continue building this design and more. I will do the on-ride photo on this one, considering I wasn't able to do it on the other two previous designs. That will certainly help and bring in extra money for this scenario. I do want to see how much it will allow me to build here. Yeah, I'm out of money again. It should be able to make it around. It's a very small design, but considering the speed it picks up down this hill, it should certainly make it around just fine. And then I'll be able to do a tunnel element. I'll probably just end up doing a turnaround in here, and back up to the station area. It should generate at least $4.50, $5 with the on-ride photo. That will definitely help this design. I do want to get money rolling here though too, because in order to buy more land and build more designs, that's going to require multiple $1,000s, not just in the ride construction, but buying the necessary land out in this portion of the park to continue expanding. I'm certainly money isn't coming back. Why is this single ride per admission? People should be able to get on this quickly. I am going to reduce the cycle times just a little bit. Um, I don't want to lose money at the same time, though. I want this. Removing the minimum wait times should also help a little bit with that. This one's right at 2. I'm going to leave that alone. People are going on it. I'll add in a tree or two here. That should help boost it a little bit. I just don't want people to start saying that it's too expensive. They don't want to go on it anymore, sort of deal. And I don't want the queue times to get very long either. All right. So a little bit more money now. I'm going to tunnel this here. It's going to have to be some pretty tight construction. I need to get back up to, I believe it was 10 feet. Or is it? I need to get back up to 10 feet, yeah, to complete the design. And I'm out of cash again. But this design is sort of wrapping up now. I'll be able to do a block break section. May have to edit some of this land, but it is at the height that it needs to be at right now. So the amount of trash in the park. So I may need another couple of handymen here. It certainly is a very large path design, so 5 handymen should have no problem. And I don't need patrol zones. That would be kind of ridiculous in this small of a space. This design was definitely a little bit more expensive than I wanted it to be. Um, I mean, is there any scenery or anything I can remove to get a little bit of quick cash? I already removed that one fountain, but removing trees is going to cost money to do. Um, are all my stalls open? Fries. Will people pay $2 for fries? Just to help get that extra bit of revenue. Looks like people will pay. Yeah, people will pay $2 for the fries. And now I have a little bit more money, so. Okay. I could just tunnel it again. That certainly would be. It will also add to the excitement rating of the coaster. Maybe I do a surprise dip. Not enough cash. Okay. So this one's just about wrapping up. It will be completed. Let's see, September year one. This ride will be open by the beginning of year two. The motion simulator has also been researched. I may end up putting that right in there. Motion simulators usually do pretty well in terms of bringing in revenue for as small as they are. Okay, out of cash again. But all I need to do is a brake section right here and a turn back into the station, and this thing will be done. It should bring in, I'm hoping, at least $4. It isn't obviously a very large design, but the wooden coasters generally do better than other designs in terms of excitement and intensity, no matter the scale you build them. I want to make sure that I have enough room, block brakes for a turn. Okay. But this thing is wrapping up, so I'm going to have to do it from that side because I can't see from here. One more. God. Now I'm severely in the red. I can charge 20 cents for the bathroom, I think. As long as people go in it. Okay. We'll start thinking about the entrance and exit. I need $95. I'll need 95 and I think it's like 60 something for need 40. Only need $40 and this one will be done. Of course I need to build a path and stuff. Okay. So this one I'll start testing. Start building out the path. Or the queue line, I should say. I don't like how slow this is. Station platform. Okay. Start testing again. Once it opens, money will not be as much of a concern. It will start rolling in, of course. And I think I just shot myself in the foot with the clearance that I need for that. Actually, research too. I could cool it with the research, do normal funding. It will take a little bit longer, but won't that let me connect? Oh, that would actually make a lot of sense. I just couldn't see it from the angle that it was being presented to me. I could build the queue line. I specifically built the coaster station at 10 feet so that it would. I'm not paying that much. Okay, well, I can lower this now. I'll do the jungle station. What's the excitement? Okay, it's a very low excitement wooden coaster. It's only going to get $3, but the on-ride photo, I'll get $3 if people buy it. So potential for $6 out of this coaster. Um, Not great, not terrible. I'll see if building some trees around it, if that will help. Do some willow trees. This may help a little bit with the excitement rating. Not very much. Okay. Timber. Timberhawk, maybe. I don't know. No, that's the name of another coaster. I won't continue to do that. I'll do Timberhawk, but I'll do it 2 words instead of one. And the trains can be, I guess, hawk colored. The ride. I like the black. And this thing can open right up because I need the money. I just hope that people don't complain that it's not intense enough. They shouldn't. And as for the park value, it's at 79. That should probably increase a little bit, I'm hoping. End of year one, most of the way to the goal. Are people complaining about the price for fries? I'm not paying that much. Will you pay $1.80? Let's see. And I will build the motion simulator in over here. Just because it's a cheap ride, it takes up very little space. Okay. And the queue line, I'll do a 2-block queue line. It certainly is getting very crowded over here, not just with the people, but also with the rides. And I wanted to do the Thrill Riders film for this. Hopefully it will get about $3 as well. Yep, $3. So money should start rolling in a bit quicker now with these rides open. Okay, people are going on this, and if many of them opt to purchase the on-ride photo, this ride will not do very bad at all in terms of bringing in revenue. I'm kind of happy now that I wasn't able to fit the on-ride photo on this, because this ride at 4... Oh my god, I never even increased the price. That would explain why I'm not bringing in so much money. Okay. So that, I was charging like half price of what I should have for reactor. I guess I opened it before I checked the. I hope I didn't do it with the indoor coaster either. Space Cadet 448. I did it here too. Oh my god, I totally forgot. That would explain why. I was thinking the shuttle loop should have really started making some money. Okay. And this ride certainly should be. Yeah, this ride's profiting very well so far. Now the money can start rolling in. I'll do an advertising campaign as well. It's going to hurt me in the short term, but maybe I'll only do a 5-week one for this one, $1,000. Okay. Maybe I'll also build the swinging inverter ship over here. It needs to be 10 off the ground for it to be flush with the pathway. Okay. I'm only going to be able to do one block for queue space here with this one. I'll do 12 swings, see where that gets me. I'm so shocked that I completely forgot to adjust the entrance fees for the two coasters I built. That certainly hurt. That certainly hurt in terms of making money back here. I'm wondering why the park with the coasters isn't making more, but that's totally the reason why. I'll call this one Power Dive. I don't really have any blues in the park yet, so I'll go with the blue for that. A blue, and maybe blue and orange. Do a white support column there. And I'll be able to get 350 out of it with the shortened program. I do want to wait for a full load, but put a maximum wait time on there, just because the queue won't be long enough to fill the entire cycle. People will certainly go on it, though. So as far as I do have the top spin now, I think I'm going to stop with the thrill rides for the time being, because I have a launched free fall and a top spin that I haven't used yet. Coaster wise, I've used the mini design, no junior coaster yet. Used the wooden, used the looping. I'm not going to put a spinning wild mouse in already having a mini coaster. No other gentle rides I want to build at this time, so not in too bad a shape. The park will start making good money now. Are people okay? People will spend 190 or 180, whatever I'm charging for fries. Yeah, it's very crowded in this park, that's for sure. They will spend 10 cents to use the restroom here. Make sure everything's profiting. Yep. Everything's profiting. That is, and even the restroom is making a little bit of money, so that helps. Research is on only, what was it, 200 instead of 400 per month. I'm using pretty much the minimum amount of staff I need in the park. And money is certainly coming in much quicker now. Too crowded here. It has gone down a little bit though ever since I added in this pathway. It was at 100 something before. People aren't going. I thought that they always go on transport rides. I mean, it's doing well. There's enough people queuing for it, but okay. Will people charge, or can I charge 350 out of the on-ride photo just to squeeze a little bit more out of people if need be? For some reason, the number of $3 sticks out in my head of the maximum people will pay to. Okay, park value is over 100,000 now. Now I need to maintain it. People will pay. Let me see here. $3 for it, definitely. I'm not paying that much. Okay, so $3. I want as many people to buy it as possible, if they do want to purchase it. Of course, if they re-ride, they won't purchase another on-ride photo. They'll only purchase one. But this is the only ride in the park right now that Oh my god. Did I really? I totally forgot. Wow, I'm off my game here today. So I just spent a whole bunch of time um, on the Be Right Back screen. I forgot to change it back to main. So I do apologize for that. Big time. So a little bit of a recap now that you can actually see the park that I built. The Skyway opened up. I figured out the reason why I could only have one car on the station at a time. This design was completed. It's a very small wooden coaster. Goes around the turns. There's a dive over the lake. It only gets $3 per ride. It has a very medium intensity, but I do have an on-ride photo section, so it has the potential to pull in $3 extra, six total for that. I put in a swinging inverter ship right here, just because there was room. It's another higher priced attraction, and also the motion simulator right here, because it also does get $3. Other than that, the only other blunder I missed was the entrance fee for Reactor, and the indoor sort of roller coaster was never changed. I still had it at the initial $2 that it was going to charge, so I adjusted those to where they should be, and money is coming back in now. But I do apologize. It's probably been like over half an hour or so that the screen was on Be Right Back. Um, and I totally forgot to switch it back. But there is still about an hour of gameplay in this park. It is the beginning of year two. The park value, wow, that I've already restarted Dinky Park once. I'm not going to go through the whole thing again, but I'll certainly have to remember for future streams to be more careful. The reason why I switched it was because I was doing a little bit of research on the Skyway and configuring the station for it, but I totally forgot I had the thing in the background. I have to get a second screen for this so that I can have the stream software up too. Um, but yeah, I am over the 100,000 park value with year to go. Just by continuing to build, I may refresh some of these smaller flat rides before the end of the year here. But if I build another major coaster in here and a couple more flat rides to supplement it, this scenario should be no problem. And money is coming in now more steadily. I don't have any more loan to take, but I will be able to get some of that money back with everything operating the way it should now. I don't even think that anyone saw the pathway I put in here. I bought some construction rights to build a bridge over here, just because the Skyway people will go on. It only charges $1 per pop. But if someone takes the Skyway over here, they spend the rest of their money in this section of the park, and they don't have money to ride the Skyway back, there would be no way of them getting between the parks. I could just have it run for free, but it is profiting somewhat decently for $1 entrance fee, so I don't want to lose that money. So this pathway will take them right back to the entrance if they're out of money and they need to find their way back. I really can't believe that I did that though. I'm not going to restart this park again because this is one of the more frustrating ones in terms of the land you have available and the short amount of time. But I'm really sorry for that. I didn't even realize until I pulled my stream up to make sure that the internet connection was still good. Um, I guess I could put in a couple of fountains right here. Wow. Okay, back in action, right? Yes. That's going to be bad for the YouTube. The stream's one thing, but the YouTube people are going to see that Be Right Back for such a long period of time, and they'll stop watching. But that's okay. Plenty of more scenarios and parks to go through. I do like the way that my Dinky Park is turning out this time, though. I wish that this coaster could have gotten a little bit more admission price. It is very small, that's for sure. It's just over 1,500 feet long, but I like the way it interacts with the train and it looks. It is a very small wooden coaster, but still. And there are tunnel elements too. The on-ride photo will definitely help, though, with the price. It certainly is, as of right now, it is the top. Yeah, it is still the top revenue earner, unless the junior coaster in here. Yeah, no, that the popularity on that one has tapered off a bit for whatever reason. I don't know if people. No, people are going on it. It just isn't as high of capacity, I guess, and has a bit of a longer cycle time. I mean, for reference, let me see here. Space Cadet is 12. Okay, so it is shorter than this, but it's probably a lower average speed, and the cycle time or the length on this is yeah, all the coasters are about the same length. They're very small scale roller coasters, but people are going on them, and you need them for the park value in this scenario. The park value is still holding at over 100,000, so I better start planning here the next coaster. Suspended swinging coaster is not something I want to buy. I may end up going with the junior coaster. I could wait for the steel corkscrew coaster, but getting that next big attraction in the park will be important. It is somewhat similar to the mini coaster, but the mini coaster is more of a wild mouse, and this is more of like a family longer train roller coaster. So and I'm gonna have really no options but to build it sort of in this area over here. I'll probably start buying some more land right now for that. So I could do the station. In fact, that's a good idea. That's a bit of flat land right there. I could do the station in this area. I will need some of this land over the water. I'll probably need a little bit more than that. I'll buy it right up to the edge of the property there. And I still have $2,000 to spare. And I'll buy a little bit of this land out here. Okay. So that should be a good enough space for the junior coaster. It will be another shorter scale roller coaster, but that is all you really need for Dinky Park. You don't need anything crazy. And I will be running out of money again soon. How do I want to build this? I might just go with a straight drop here. It'll be cheaper. And I will need a little bit more land just for this. Oops, wrong one. I'm still in shock that I left the screen on. Be right back. Okay. Little dive down here. Maybe I'll do 2 lifts for this one. It'll still be a short layout, but I'm gonna need diagonal piece here. And I probably will end up buying some more land out here just to complete the design and make it go around once more. Yeah, I will buy that land right now. I don't want to end up losing. Okay, so I'm out of money. It's just about halfway done though, so this one will be able to open up probably about middle of year 2 here. Add a couple more flat rides and renew some things, and this scenario will just about be in the bag. In fact, for the time being, I'm also going to turn off research just to save that little bit of extra money per month. I have enough attractions that I haven't used yet that don't really need the research for it. And then it'll go into another lift hill here. I actually have a cool idea, but I don't have the money at the moment for that. Okay, still doing good on time. I may tunnel it. Oh, but then the entrance and exit. Can I buy any land? Oops. Where is it? Okay, I can buy a little bit more out here to have it turn around and come back. The pathway will have to either go a bridge over. Ooh. I'm going to have to get a bit creative here. I may have to either shorten the queue for this or reroute something just to make the pathway kind of loop around and come out this way. I need to go down to 5 feet. I'll do a sharp turn there. Safest park in the country. That will help the park rating. This is going to have to be lowered. Land not owned by park. Okay. I'll buy some more land right here. That should be good. And then it'll just swoop back down and come around, sort of, if I have the room for it. Or I could do a helix out here, which is something I may try to do. It'll be too big. Raise or lower lands. Oops. This will have to get lowered as well. Okay, I'm out of money. Okay. It is going to look a little bit weird back here with the terrain, I guess, but I'm kind of out of options in a way. You know, money-wise and space-wise to make this work. Oh, it won't let me do that either. Shoot. I guess. I build that out one more. Can I buy land right there? It's probably going to be a no. Nope, that is the edge of what it will give me. Oh, but I can do that. Okay. This is all going to have to get lowered just a little bit here. Okay, doing a little bit better on money. It's going to be a very weird ending as well. Oh, but I'm still up. Shoot. I'm still up 5 feet too high of what I need to be at. Okay, now we're getting crazy. It may only end up being a one train op coaster, but you have to do what you have to do sometimes in this game. That is unless I do a block break there. Yeah, that might work. Not very traditional, but fine. Where's my coaster? So it'll have 2 trains, 5 cars per train, boost the lift speed, start testing it. Block breaks. Oh. Okay. So I guess the second lift will be used as the second block break here. This is Roller Coaster Tycoon, though. I can't be like too anal about the way things work out. And this queue will have to be shortened just to get the path around here. Makes it all the way around, which is good, or it should theoretically. Don't want to make the queue for this too long because I don't know with how the block sections work out, if it's going to be, you know, a long line or not. So then this, I'll do height markers on the paths. This will have to go, I'll build it out. No, not what I wanted. Out one and down one. And then I can always I'm gonna have to edit the land right here as well. Hopefully this will be enough clearance between the ride. It will. And then I can just go back up one here. Okay. How is this doing in terms of... So this one will actually make more money than the wooden coaster will. It'll make $4.50 per ticket, but that will certainly help things out. I'll do the jungle entrance for it. And as for the theme of it, I don't know. I'll just call it like Dipsy Diver. And if I'm not mistaken, I haven't used any blues except for over here for the park yet. So I'll do like a teal sort of color scheme. I like the teal and the brown, I guess. And the trains themselves, they can be Ladybug style. So 450 has good stats for what it is. And I'll add some benches in this area, some bins. As for the Skyway, I do want to extend this queue one block so that it's about similar length to what it was before. And people are already going on it, on the new coaster that is. Do an advertising campaign for it. Don't know why I never changed this Ferris wheel 1 to just Ferris wheel. And park value is at 118,000. Middle of year 2. It's not doing too bad. Over here, I will give it... Oh, I won't be able to modify that at all. But I can modify these guys. Just so that it looks a little bit more natural, I guess. If you dig into land over here, it would have sort of different edges. Yeah, no, it won't let me edit any of these land pieces because they are technically on the border of the park. They sort of are on the inside, but the game doesn't like you editing anything around the park boundaries. And I'll put a few trees in here as well. Okay, and those can go in the middle there. So I'll add some out here. And I can add one of those in the middle of the helix. So that doesn't look too bad. Yeah, it should begin bringing in some good money. Oh, I put it on mill funding. What's wrong with me today? Oh, I do remember putting it on mill funding. I'll do thrill rides for now, gentle rides maybe, in case there's bumper cars. There are no coasters that I currently want to build. I should be good with the ones that I have. There isn't too much more lands to buy for this. There is a launch freefall and a top spin that haven't been installed in this park yet. So those are two options. No other gentle rides. Park value is at $121,000, which is a little bit of a cushion now from that 100,000 value, and it's the middle of year 2, so another half an hour of gameplay or so to kind of finish things off here. I could remove these rides and rebuild them. I'm going to save that if I start getting closer to the edge of the park necessary park rating that is that I need, or the park value rather. I will start looking into top spin as long as I can fit it in appropriately and make it somewhat. I mean, it will fit in right there. The pathway is going to have to be a little bit creative though here, so I don't want to do this to the tree I just put in. Oh, that won't be tall enough. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Um, okay, so what if I take the exit out and put it there? This will allow me to connect these up. And the queue line's only going to end up being a 1 wide, but I can always adjust the cycle stats for this. And by that I mean the wait times. I'll call it cliffhanger. Um, Maybe I give it sort of a brown and white. The gondola can be dark brown and black. I'll put it on berserk mode, wait for the full load, maximum wait time of 60 seconds. Just as a filler attraction. 3. Okay, did I lose the stream? I did not. Excellent. $3 for this. And open. And we'll fill in a couple more of these trees here that I removed. One could go there too, actually. A couple of them. I haven't done this very often in the scenarios. Maybe I'll add a ride sign for this one. Usually the ride signs kind of get overlooked in the sake of time. It's going to be not wide enough to fit the entire name. Or I could do a vertical one. Okay, remove the tree and put that in there. Okay, there we go. I'll pay off a couple thousand of the loan, take out an advertising campaign for the park. That'll leave me with little money, but it's okay. Nice. That added a decent amount of park value to the property as well. And I should add a bench in at the exit right there, because people get nauseous on that ride very easily. A couple more benches right there too. All right. So not looking too bad here. I do like the way that it's developed out here. Some of the larger rides and coasters have also extended out here, and there are some flat rides to supplement it. This is sort of like the more thrilling end of the park, and in here there certainly are a couple of thrill rides, but a lot of the more gentle rides are at the front of the park. I only removed one of them, which was the observation tower called Cloud 9. The rest of these flat rides in this area, with the exception of the motion simulator, were park originals. Cloud 9 was removed to make way for the chairlift that carries guests over to each section of the park. As far as the guests go, I'm sure a lot of people keep saying it's crowded. It's too crowded here, but it was at 100 and some, then it went down to 80 some, and now only around 60 people are saying it's too crowded. So by adding more pathway to the park, that certainly helps bring crowding down, and as a result, park rating also did jump up almost 200 points. So certainly always a good idea to do good path management, have enough benches, bins, staff, add enough ways for guests to go, but not such a convoluted path system that they'll get lost in the park. Information kiosk is a must for the park maps. Larger parks can have 2 to 3 info kiosks, but this park is so small, one right at the entrance is certainly suitable for this scenario. One restroom is also all I have built, and do I have any other? I could add a popcorn stall back here. If there's a nice piece of land for me to do it, I'm not just going to add it in just because. I could add it in right about here in the middle of these. $1.50 for popcorn is what I will get. Drinks are way over here, but guests aren't complaining yet that they're too thirsty or anything. The Skyway's been going down quite a bit. Let me see downtime. Yeah, so I'm going to increase the inspection time on this one just so that its downtime gets lowered. It's really the only ride in the park that's causing problems, of course. Some of the older rides now have a little bit of downtime, but the Skyway is the one that is experiencing the most downtime at this point, so I'll improve upon that. I have 2 mechanics. I may need a third one as well, just because there are some more rides in the park now and a little bit more space to cover. The handyman are 881 people in the park, so I'll add a couple more. Okay. Rolling along pretty well. I just want to make sure that this park value isn't dipping. It was at 131, it's at 125 now. So if it keeps decreasing at that rate, I don't know in a couple of months if it will still be over $100,000. So it may be time to start replacing some of these rides, some of the original ones of the park. That'll be easy in, easy out to replace. So the Ferris wheel can go for a new one. Forwards rotation, 1 rotation. It'll get $1 per admission. So maybe the Ferris wheel got a bit of a refurbishment here and it's reopening. This one can open right now, actually. Colors. Do a dark orange. Sort of a reverse color scheme of what it was before. That should be black, I think. Merry-go-rounds can get removed for a new one. It goes right there. 12 rotations. It was named Carousel. And it'll charge, it's either $1 or $1.50 per ticket. $1. Okay. This ride's relatively new. These rides over here, what is my park value at? 127. So it went up about $2,000 after refreshing those 2 rides. I'll see if I need to do these as well. And it may be a good idea, one of these handymen to put over here, because there's a lot of litter in this area. Now, I'll have him do this section of the park, kind of. Not all the way over there. Not over there either. He can go up there, though. Do want to keep my eye on this park value. 126,000, okay. And nearing the end of July, so August, September, October, that's another about 15 minutes of gameplay or so. So will this park value hold for 15 minutes where it's at? If not, the next step would be refreshing the slide and these 2 flat rides over here. I don't know if I want to build any more or if there's anything I could build. I could go with launch freefall, but I don't really see, unless I build it over here, there isn't too much, flat space left or anything I want to remove at this point. The park value is holding pretty steady where it's at right now, though. Okay. I'm going to fast forward a bit, just see where it leaves me. So into August of year 2 now, if I hyperspeed it a bit, the park value is going down, but it should hold over 100,000. Okay, it's coming kind of close now, but it should hold $12,000 for a few more days of gameplay here. Oh, it's going to be a little bit close. It'll make it, though. Nice. I could have done a little bit more. I could have built a little bit. I don't know how much land is left over. Not too much, you know, certainly another smaller scale coaster could have fit in here, but it wasn't necessary. All the land up here is virtually used. Even if I purchased it with the current coasters out here, I couldn't build around it. So I'll do a bit of a recap here, considering that probably a quarter of the stream or half of the stream was lost when I had the stupid be right back thing on. So I pretty much preserved everything that was operating over here. I did reroute some queues and stuff like that, but there used to be the observation tower right here. This operated until that operated, I should say, until the Skyway went in. But the first ride I went ahead and built was this underground mini coaster. It's kind of hard to see the track, but it just goes around some turns, some dips. It goes out twice and back, a double out and back sort of layout. It did good. I forgot to increase the admission price for this ride and the shuttle loop when I put it in, but it's a $4 per ride sort of attraction. It is popular, so it took advantage of building underneath the hill. I didn't have to worry about building out and buying land all the way over here for a good chunk of time. So that was a good attraction to build. And it was very low cost. I think in total, it only cost about $3,000 to put in 2,500 in-game money. So that was a very smart first attraction. Very soon after that, I put in the shuttle loop. It is a custom design. I did make the station a little bit longer to fit in the queue and such things, but it's pretty much the same canned shuttle loop from RCT1. Very skinny edge of the park here was all unoccupied, so a station behind the carousel worked, and there was enough land, obviously, I had to modify it a little bit, but there was enough land to fit the full layout in, and it's still been popular. I did also forget to increase the entrance price for a while I was building the wooden coaster over here. I'm wondering, man, I took out all my loan and I'm not making much money back. I have two coasters. Well, the reason why was because I was charging basically half price of what I should have been getting out of them. So that made it a little bit difficult, but it was okay. The queue line, when I put in the Space Cadet coaster, which is inside of this hill, the queue line for Purple Peril used to go right up here. I rerouted it, I made it shorter, and I built this pathway leading down here. So the queue for Space Cadet fits in right about here. It goes underground, and something I'm surprised I didn't do earlier, but I'm going to do right now just because I can, is add a little bit of fencing here for realism. Okay. So after this side of the park was done, it was time to start expanding over this way. So the one attraction that I did sacrifice, the rest of them, the carousel, the slide, the Ferris wheel, pirate ship, and scrambler were all park originals. The observation tower did go though. I rather would have used the space. I could have removed the Ferris wheel or the slide, but I like how they look in this park because it is the gentle section of the park. The Skyway station replaced what used to be the observation tower, and it just led over here. Originally, this was the only thing operating over here, but very quickly I added, you know, the station out here so that Dipsy Diver still hasn't been fixed. Sorry, got a little bit distracted. This guy's lost. I don't know what he's trying to do. Oh, he's got to come all the way from this end of the park. Okay, that's... Oh, it was just fixed, though. What am I thinking here? Okay, never mind. Anyways, so I built this pathway, used the construction rights and built this pathway leading back to the park entrance. The reason for that is the Skyway isn't free. It is charging $1 per ride. I needed money at that point, so anything that profited is something that I looked into investing in. But in case you have a guest that rides the Skyway over here to get to this section of the park, let's say they ride these two rides and run out of money, now they're stuck over here. They don't have the money to ride the Skyway back. So you need basically a free way for them to walk back to the park entrance at that point so they don't get stuck and upset and all that. So the first major ride that went in on this side of the park was this very small wooden coaster called Timberhawk. Very, very small. Not many drops. It's mainly terrain following, junior sort of wooden coaster. It only gets $3 per ticket, but it does have the optional on-ride photo right here for an extra $3, so you can make a potential of $6 off of a ticket on this ride. It isn't that bad. Certainly, you can't charge what I did for the shuttle loop or the um, indoor roller coaster right here, but it did help bring money in. I then filled in this area with the swinging inverter ship, which is a very small, compact ride. And then I began construction on the next coaster, which was the junior coaster, custom layout. It has a couple of lifts on it, very non-traditional block system, but it did take some creativity to kind of wrap it back around here and help it make its way back to the station. It was very tight on space right there. It opened though, and I think it gets 450 per ticket. Yes, it does. So two trains, higher capacity. It certainly does very well. And then the final ride I put in, I also did fill in a popcorn stand. Was like one of the last things I did. But I put in a top spin here. Could have been a top spin or dodgems or a launched free fall, but I just put in a top spin to fill in this area and add another thrill ride to the park. Um, the only ride I renewed over here was the Ferris wheel. I tore it down and rebuilt it. Oh, and a motion simulator as well. That went in, I think, right after I was done with the wooden coaster construction sort of area. But the motion simulator later as well. It's an indoor ride. Space Cadet is also considered an indoor ride if I can find it here, I believe. Yeah, people consider it indoors, so it adds another indoor attraction, and the motion simulator is able to charge $3 per ride, so it takes up very little space, but people will go on it, and it's a thrill ride, so overall, not too many coasters or rides in this park. You only needed a park value of 100,000. It's still over that even after I've been talking, but certainly if you slack off too much in this scenario, there's a tighter room for clearance. You'd probably need, if you built these coasters very quick or picked canned designs that aren't very long, you'd probably need to develop the rest of this land across the street. People have done it in this section of the park before, as I've said. I don't like doing it. It gets way too cramped and it looks bad. But most of the original attractions are here. I expanded, and this all back here, this was all purchased land and custom rides that I put in, and I do like the way that it came out. So I'm going to save this as is. And I think I'm going to stop streaming there. The next scenario, if I'm not mistaken, is... yeah, it's Aqua Park. Yeah, this one isn't tough, but it's a little bit of work, and it is a 3-year scenario. So next stream will be Aqua Park. This one will go online on YouTube, even though a quarter of it will be missing with the Be Right Back. The audio's there, so it'll be more like a podcast. But luckily I catched it when I did, and I was able to show the rest of the scenario here. I do like how this came out. It wasn't too bad now that I went in with a different strategy, but thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't. There will be an update on the website later, amusementmemorabilia.com. This video will go on YouTube within the next day or so. And thank you again.